Amid the quiet suburbs, a luxurious sports car abandoned on the street becomes a spectacle, not for its sleek design, but for the unusual attention it receives from a pack of stray dogs. And for hours that day, they had been circling the car, barking and whining, drawing the attention of puzzled neighbors. Concerned by the bizarre behavior, one neighbor decides to take a closer look, only to discover something moving inside the car under the hot summer sun. Without hesitation, he dials 911, fearing for the safety of whatever is trapped inside. Who is he calling? What do you think he saw? Nate heard some of the bystanders ask, but he tried to zone them out and focus on the call instead. Come on, pick up, he thought, and then he finally heard a click and a voice saying, "This is 911. What's your emergency?" The dogs were still barking, so Nate had to speak quite loudly in order to make himself heard. He quickly explained what he had found in the car, and the dispatcher told him that she would send a police officer over right away. While waiting for the officer, Nate continued walking around the car, pulling the door handles and trying to push down the windows. He was furious. How could anyone let this happen? But what had Nate spotted inside the car? How did it get there? And where was the owner? But before we start, smash the like button. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Nate, however, he still needed to do his job, so he got in the car and drove to the location the dispatcher had provided. It wasn't far away from the police station, but Officer Jake took his time. Of course, he had no idea what was waiting for him. When Officer Jake arrived at the scene, he was greeted by a surprising sight. There was that car, and it was indeed being circled by a bunch of stray dogs. But that wasn't so weird to Officer Jake. Perhaps the owner had left some food inside it. He thought at first. Nate, who had made the call, wasn't the only one who had noticed these dogs. They had caused quite a commotion in the neighborhood, and many passersby had stopped to watch and see what was going on. Most bystanders gasped something like, "Ah, the police are here," as soon as they saw the police car approaching. However, they made no intent of neither leaving nor helping. They just stood and watched. All right, there's nothing to see here," Officer Jake said as he got out of the car, motioning with his hands that people should leave. Now he needed to get as close to that car as possible. But there was one little problem. He was scared of dogs. Well, he wasn't really scared, but he did not enjoy their presence, especially not when they were barking like that. With each step, Jake reassures himself of his duty to protect and serve, even if it means facing his discomfort head-on. He's ready to act, showing that his commitment to public safety outweighs personal fears. Reaching the car, Jake pauses to assess the situation. He carefully examines the vehicle's exterior for any sign of distress or danger. His hand remains close to his pepper spray, a precautionary measure against unforeseen threats. With a deep breath, Jake uses his tools to gain access to the car. The lock clicks open, and he slowly opens the door, ready to confront whatever is inside. The stray dogs quiet down, their barking subsides to whimpers, as if sensing the critical moment. Peering inside the car, Jake discovers the source of the dog's distress. He signals to Nate, calling for backup and resources to address the situation. Jake and Nate's efforts to access the car intensify, with Jake using tools to pry open a window carefully. A bystander stands ready with a blanket and water, anticipating the needs of those inside. With the window now open, Jake reaches inside to unlock the door. His movements precise and calculated. The crowd holds its breath as the door finally swings open, revealing the situation within. Jake and Nate immediately spring into action, assessing the condition of the car's occupants and providing aid. With the immediate needs addressed, Jake begins coordinating with emergency services for additional support. Nate continues to comfort and assist, ensuring the well-being of the car's occupants. With a steady hand, he manipulates the lock mechanism, showcasing his skill and attention to detail. Nate watches closely, ready to assist, reflecting the high stakes of their task. The relief effort begins even before they fully assess the situation, underscoring their primary concern for the well-being of the trapped occupant. Inside the car, Jake and Nate find a distressed dog and her newborn puppies, instantly clarifying the stray dog's protective behavior. The sight brings a moment of realization to everyone present, highlighting the innate compassion animals have for their kin. Jake and Nate's careful approach to safely remove the dog family from the car shows their respect for the animal's well-being, mirroring the protective instinct of the strays outside. With the immediate crisis under control, Officer Jake turns his attention to unraveling the story behind the car and its canine occupants. He starts taking notes and asking questions, piecing together clues from the vehicle and its surroundings. Amidst the rescue operation, Jake's commitment to duty shines through. In his interactions with the neighbors, coupled with his diligent note-taking, reflect a thorough approach to understanding and resolving the situation. Right after the rescue, Nate doesn't waste a moment and rushes the dog family to the vet. His actions are swift, showing his deep concern for their health. Gauged at the vet, each dog is carefully examined, ensuring they're all in good shape despite their ordeal. Nate's relief is visible as the vet gives a positive report, reinforcing the bond that's forming between him and the rescued animals. With the vet's assurance, Nate decides to take the dogs home, providing a safe haven for their recovery. Meanwhile, Officer Jake follows a clue to a secluded house, the address linked to the car's registration. His approach is cautious as he observes the exterior, noting the overgrown garden, and the accumulation of mail, signs of the owner's long absence. And this discovery adds layers of intrigue to the story, pushing Jake deeper into the investigation as he wonders about the circumstances that led to the dog's abandonment. Jake's investigative pursuit leads him around the property, looking for any sign of recent activity. The neighbors, once just passive observers, now express their curiosity about the mysterious owner. Their descriptions of him and speculative stories add to the enigma, painting a picture of a man known to few. This growing interest among the community sets the stage for deeper exploration into his life and circumstances, with Jake at the helm, piecing together the puzzle. Officer Jake steps into the house with a sense of caution, the ajar door signaling that something isn't right. He takes in his surroundings, alert to any signs of disturbance or danger. The quietness of the house stands in stark contrast to the chaos outside, making Jake even more wary of what he might find. As Jake advances, he notices broken items littering the hallway, suggesting a rapid departure or struggle. Beyond the clutter to find the cluttered hallway, the house once used to reveals a contrasting state of neatness. Jake observes rooms that are tidy and well-maintained, indicating a life of order and routine. This stark difference between the entrance and the rest of the house puzzles him, adding layers to the mystery he's unraveling. Nate and Officer Jake deepen their partnership, meticulously juggling the ongoing investigation with caring for the rescued dogs. Their actions, filled with a blend of duty and compassion, showcase a united front in the face of adversity. With fresh insight, the search for the owner expands beyond the neighborhood to local hospitals and other potential places where the owner might have sought refuge. Jake and Nate divide tasks, covering more ground in their efforts to find the missing man. Officer Jake's meticulous search through the house uncovers a treasure trove of personal items that tell a more nuanced story of the owner's life. He carefully examines photographs, letters, and everyday items, each piece offering a glimpse into the past. Congestion among the scattered personal effects, Jake finds photographs that capture happier times, showing the owner with his dogs in various settings. This evidence of care and love despite personal struggles highlights a poignant aspect of the story, emphasizing the deep connection between the owner and his pets. Following a critical tip, Officer Jake heads to the local hospital, where he finds the Kotzor's owner recovering from a heart attack. This discovery marks a major breakthrough in the case, providing answers to the mystery of the abandoned sports car and the concerned dogs. The meeting between Officer Jake and the recovering owner is filled with emotional revelations. Jake listens with empathy as the owner shares his story, bridging the gap between public duty and personal crises. This heartfelt exchange not only resolves the case but also highlights the human aspect of law enforcement, showcasing the deep connections that can form in the face of adversity. This newfound understanding fosters a stronger bond between the police and the community, emphasizing the importance of support and compassion in times of need. The mystery of the abandoned dogs and the chaotic home is finally resolved, bringing a sense of closure to all involved. In the quiet of the hospital room, the owner, now recovering, extends his heartfelt gratitude to Nate. He warmly thanks Nate for the care and protection offered to his dogs in his absence. The owner recounts the stressful events leading up to his heart attack, providing Nate and Officer Jake with much-needed context. He describes the overwhelming day, his rushed attempts to care for his dogs, and the moment he realized he needed help. This backstory sheds light on the chaotic scene they found, transforming confusion into understanding and empathy for the situation he faced. His gratitude fills the room as the owner emphasizes the crucial role of community support during his crisis. His story serves as a powerful reminder of how individual actions, like Nate's decision to step in, can have a profound impact during times of need. Officer Jake and Nate listen, recognizing the unpredictability of life and the significance of their roles within the community. This exchange strengthens their resolve to continue making a positive impact, aware of the difference they can make through dedication and empathy. In a heartwarming gesture, the owner decides to gift one of the puppies to Nate, symbolizing the gratitude and deep connection formed through this ordeal. The gift of the puppy serves as a powerful symbol of the enduring bond between Nate and the owner. It represents the positive outcomes that can emerge from adversity, transforming a challenging situation into an opportunity for growth and connection. This moment of bonding underscores the significance of empathy and support, reinforcing the impact of collective efforts in overcoming crises. The narrative takes a hopeful turn as it reflects on the owner's recovery and his reunion with his pets. This reunion not only signifies his physical recuperation, but also the healing power of companionship and love. The story concludes on a note of optimism, capturing the lasting impact of kindness, the strength of community bonds, and the unexpected journeys that unite individuals. The experiences shared by Nate, the owner, and the community illuminate the profound effects of compassion and cooperation, leaving a lasting impression on all involved. This tale of adversity, support, and recovery reinforces the belief in the goodness that prevails in society.